Hi, I'm Dan with StarReviews.com, and today we're going to review the As Seen on TV product, the SureClip. What it is a multiple tool that's also a nail clipper, as well as a magnifying glass. It has a built-in LED light, a built-in nail catcher, and just to go over a couple things you're going to get when you order the product. You're going to get two for the price of one, so that's why you see here we have two SureClips. You're also going to get this four-sided buffer block, and you're going to get two of these, as well as two of these small samples of the Miracle Foot Repair. This is like a fast-acting, lotion for extreme dryness and cracking of your feet. So you get this buffer block that does everything from filing to buffing your nails. You get this clipper, and let's go over some of the features of the clipper. First, as you can see, it has this magnifying glass, which is extremely helpful if you have a hard time seeing what you're cutting. So when you get down to your toenails, it makes sure that you have a nice precise cut and that you're not cutting too deep or cutting in the sides of your nails, which can cause ingrown toenails. And it has this magnifying light. So when you're working with the magnifying glass, it gives you a nice light. It's an LED powered light, so you get to see what you're working with. And it has this big oversized handle, which is nice. It's easy to use in your hands. It makes sure you have a good grip on it. As well as underneath this, you have this built-in diamond edge for filing, which is actually right on the nail clipper itself, which is nice. You actually don't necessarily need to grab a file. After you're done cutting your nails, you can just go ahead and file them smooth using that diamond edge for filing right there. This nice comfort grip. It's nice in your hands. It's very easy to use. It doesn't give you any kind of pressure points. It gives you a nice surface to actually grab onto. And the nice part about it here is it actually has this catcher where it actually catches your nail filings. So as you're clipping, your nail filings, instead of going flying everywhere, are going to get caught right in there. You just simply remove this little door and the nail filings will come right out. So what we're going to go ahead and do is put this to the test. We're going to use it on both fingernails and toenails, and we're going to put it to the test in comparison with your fingernails to just your usual fingernail clipper. Stay tuned. Okay, so for the first test, what we're going to do is put the SureClip to the test and just work on some fingernails here. And this is what it looks like when the product is all closed and concealed up. So to open it up, it's pretty easy. Just lift the magnifying glass a little bit out of the way. Then when you start, fold it out, put the magnifying glass back in its spot. And again, this moves up and down so you can actually get it to where you need it. There's a little on-off switch right here on the side. Simply flip that to on. That's going to turn on that LED, which you can see on the back there. It's going to ensure that you have a nice view of what you're working with. And again, I really like this oversized grip. It gives you a nice, powerful, place to push down on. It's not going to slip out of your hands. Sometimes, as we compare it with just a regular fingernail clipper, I have big hands and this is pretty small. So sometimes it's just a little bit annoying to work with. It's nice to have something, big in your hands you can grab onto that you can work with. Let me go ahead and once you line up, it's that magnifying glass, although, I can see my hands, from this distance, it's nice to really get zoomed in, a 3 times magnified view of what you're working with. That way, as you're clipping, you don't clip too deep, and you make sure, you're really doing a nice job. Thing I actually like about it is these steel blades are extremely sharp, and with this big work area, this oversized grip, you don't really have to apply a lot of pressure to clip. And again, I had no clippings. They're all being caught, I would imagine. So I'm just going to move on and clip one more nail. Yeah, I really do. I like the oversized grip. I like that I have some light. I can see what I'm working with, and that magnifying glass really makes sure I have a nice clear picture. And those both came out really well. So now, as you can see, it did miss one clipping. One clipping did drop out, which isn't as bad. I mean, there's probably about 6 times that I clipped my hand there. I only dropped one clipping instead of 6. That's not that bad. I'm going to flip it over now, and here is this diamond edge for filing. Just going to go ahead and just put that to the test. Just file. It's nice to make sure you have a nice smooth surface, because as you keep cutting and you make more than one cut on each nail, you can end up sometimes having a ridge. So once you file it down, you just file it perfectly smooth. Now in comparison, I'm sure these small clippers are going to get the job done. I'm just going to work on just one nail with these clippers. It doesn't have a big cutting area. These are actually fingernail clippers, where the SureClip is designed to clip both fingernails and toenails. It's nice to have one tool for both jobs. These are definitely nowhere near as sharp as the Sure clip. And again, I'm not catching any of my clippings, which you either have to be careful and clean up after yourself, or they could go flying everywhere, and sometimes it's a pain to find one. Let's move on. Test the Sure clip on your toenails and see how they work for that. Okay, so you just saw us put this Sure clip to the test and use it to clip some fingernails. But as you can see, it's big enough to be designed to work with both fingernails and toenails. So we're going to go ahead and put it to the test just using it on toenails. So first things first, it's nice that I'm not that flexible, so this magnifying glass comes in handy so I can see what I'm working with and ensure that I'm not clipping into too deep of the side of my nail that's going to cause me to get a hangnail. The nail catcher part of it caught most of it, but as you can see, there is one piece that went flying. But I would say overall it did a pretty nice job. The thing I like about the Sure clip for the toenails is this magnifying glass. It allows me to really see what I'm working with, and I could have turned that LED light on if it was a low enough light situation that I needed it, but I could see what I was working with, especially given this 3x magnifying glass. So far, I like the product for clipping your toenails. Even though the nail catcher part didn't work 100%, it did do a nice job. So as you just saw, we were able to put the Sure clip to the test. We compared it with just a conventional nail clipper for your hands, and you saw the nice close-up work of how it works on your toenails. And there really isn't a bad thing we can technically say about the product, so let's go over some pros and cons. First, this is the world's most advanced nail clipper. It does everything that you could think of, and it's a nice built-in package all in one. It's compact, the steel blades are extremely sharp, it has this big comfort grip, so it ensures that you have a nice grip on the product at all times. The magnifying glass gives you a close-up view of what you're working with, and the built-in LED light really allows you to see what you're doing. On to the cons. It does have this nail catcher, which doesn't work 100% of the time, but it works pretty much 75% of the time. Overall, this is probably the best nail clipper I've ever used. It's extremely sharp, and the magnifying glass just makes it a really easy product to use. StarReviews is going to give the product 5.5 out of 6 stars. The only thing preventing this Sure clip from earning a 6 out of 6 perfect rating is that the nail catcher doesn't work all the time, and on the infomercial, they pretty much position the product that it does work all the time. Be sure to check out our other As Seen on TV product reviews in this link right here in our blog at StarReviews.com.